ช็อกโกแลตก่อน
So we're going to try Huel hot and savoury. This has been quite requested, had a lot of asks for a normal person's review of hot and savoury. We decided to get 3 flavours. We got Mexican chili, we got tomato and herb, and we got sweet and sour. Didn't really fancy the super spicy ones. Might try them in the future. I'm quite interested to try this because if you've seen my videos, you've seen that I tried a hot and savoury version where I just added hot water and Thai red curry paste to Huel unflavoured, and I think it's fair to say it didn't go well. So I'm hoping they've actually managed to do it right and it'd be good. Now, there are images that they've put out of how it should look in the bowls, so we'll also be looking and seeing whether it compares well to how they're presenting it. Certainly to look at how they're presenting it, it looks like it's going to be essentially rehydrated peas and lentils and rice and nice bits, and it doesn't look sloppy. That's one of the key things in all of their footage. It doesn't look sloppy. It looks like a really well-balanced, rehydrated meal that should be good. So let's try it. Let's see what's going on. They say you need to shape the bag well. There we go. My wife's here with me. She's going to try it as well because that was nice. And it certainly smells like Mexican chili. Sorry, I just got a real burst of powder up my nose. Looks promising. There's lots of bits in here. With your first order, you get a Huel hot pot. It is just a plastic tub with a lid. Like, it looks quite cool in the photos. It's all right, but it is just a plastic tub in the lid. So it's 2 scoops and in hot water. They only sent us 1, obviously, because they only design it for 1 person. So 1 scoop. I can see my wife literally going, why are you getting powder everywhere? 2 scoops. And then for my wife as well. Do you want 2 scoops? You missed the face that she made there. So we put it all up and now we just need to wait for 5 minutes to let it all soak in. I have a feeling it might be actually a bit more sloppy than I expected. It smells and looks a lot like a cup of soup, basically like posh cup of soup, a cup of soup that's actually nutritionally balanced and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how it tastes. It smells good. Smells like Mexican chili. Not good Mexican chili, but it smells like Mexican chili. It smells like a Mexican chili cup of soup or pot noodle or any of those sorts of things. But yeah, let's see how it tastes in a minute or 2. Right. And it's kind of set. And it's definitely still sloppy. It's definitely still sloppy. It's not quite the rice and grains look that I'd envisaged from the advertising, but it smells pretty good. Got a big bit of seed stuck in my tooth. That's annoying. I'll deal with that in a minute. Actually, remarkably tasty. It still has that slightly Huel texture. So essentially it's nice rehydrated bits in a Huel base. So it's like a stew sort of consistency. It's got much more flavour than I expected. Yeah, I'd say it's really tasty. The texture is good. It might take some getting used to. That's probably the best way to describe it. There are a few bits that you have to chew. So it feels like you should just be able to swallow it straight down. It feels in between a Huel and a rice bowl, if that makes any sort of sense. But yeah, no, actually, that's a lot better. That is a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I don't know whether that just means I didn't think it was going to be very good. One of the things that I'm looking for, so we're in the process of selling our house and buying a new house. And at the moment, my commute, I'm home at lunch from work. And so it's never been an issue. I can come home and if I want to make myself lunch, if I want to make myself a Huel, it's very easy. But where we're moving to, I won't be able to come home at lunch. So actually being able to just put 2 scoops of this into here, take this with me, and then top it up with hot water at lunch will be really simple and a lot cheaper than going to Greggs or Waitrose or Marks & Spencer's or Subway or anything like that, and probably healthier too. We've got a couple of other flavours to try, so we'll do that over the rest of the week and then we'll let you know what the update is. So my wife loves being on camera. Thoughts, impressions?
It looks nice.
And I like the way you paused before you said nice.
I don't know. I'm intrigued by what these little puffy bits are. From having tasted it, what are they? No?
I think they're like puffed rice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try some. It actually tastes nice. Quite spicy.
And that's white people spicy.
Yeah, but I can't handle spice. That's quite spicy for me. Texture is. It's got a bit of graininess, but it's not too bad. It's basically like a thick cup of soup, I would say, but it's nice. So you can get those posh pot noodles, but they're with rice.
Like the kabuto?
I can't remember that type.
Yeah.
And I guess that it's similar to that again. So it's quite
I'd say there's slightly more slop in it than those things, but yeah.
And more flavour probably.
Yeah.
I'm quite impressed.
What are you doing?
Because I'm not very good with spice, I'm actually going to put some yoghurt on it. Pretend it's sour cream. So yeah, I'd quite like to try definitely the tomato and herb that we've got. Yeah. I think that might be more up my street.
And I would say I was a bit mean calling it white person spice. It's the more I eat, the spicier it's getting. I wouldn't say it's unbearable, but it's definitely spicy. Nice with the yogurt.
Right.
Is that a particularly special yogurt?
Huel Valley Greek style natural yogurt.
Which our daughter has decided she likes.
Yeah, the only yogurt she likes so far.
She is only 8 months. She doesn't have a particularly wide palate yet. So, day 2 of Huel Hot and Savoury. We're going to try the tomato and herb one today. This is a non-spicy one. A couple of thoughts from yesterday. It was good, and I did feel full. It's one of the questions I get asked quite a lot is, how full did you feel? Did you feel full enough to carry on? Did you feel like you needed a snack? I felt absolutely fine right through till dinner. Emma was saying that she got a bit peckish, so we had that at 1:30. Said she got a bit peckish 6:30, but was fairly easily resolved. Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I really like it. I think it's something different to have for lunch, so you're not just having the same flavours and the same texture. It's nice, it has a bit of texture. I still wouldn't want to do it 24/7, just Huel, even with this, because there's a bit of chewing in this, but it's not like having something to really get your teeth into. I guess you could they've got like the protein bars and the various things that you if you wanted to, but that's not how I see using it. But actually as an easy lunch, Pip, would you stop trying to get up on the lap right now? Come here. Right, okay, you be in the video. I don't use it that way. I like having a proper dinner. I also thought it'd be really good in the van, actually, having a bag of this in the van, particularly if you went out for a walk, you were feeling a bit chilled after a winter walk or something like that. Huel is fine as a source of energy, the normal Huel cold mix, but to be able to have something that will actually warm you up and feels a bit more filling, I think we might well end up with a bag of this in the van just to sort of keep us going. I also think it's a bit of a shame that the Huel pot, it's not designed to transport made Huel, it's only designed to do the dry mix, which is fine, but like yesterday I was cutting a bit fine with lunch and I thought I could put it in my bag. It's clearly not waterproof, it is not a waterproof pot. If you put hot water in there and mix up your Huel, you will just get leaking all over your bag, but it'll be fine for transporting dry Huel. But yeah, other than that, I think that's about right. So let's try tomato and herb. Let's see what it smells like. It smells like tomato and herb. Grilled cheese dip. The other thing that I did have a think about yesterday was, in terms of the texture, you could quite easily put less water in it and make it into a much thicker stew, or you could put more water into it and make it into more of a soup if you wanted to. So I guess it's kind of adaptable depending on what you want to do. Right, let me pour this out. Actually smells really tomatoey it smelled a bit tomatoey. I said that wrong.
Tomatoey.
Tomatoey. That's a hard word to say. But actually, it definitely smells more like proper tomatoes. It was rehydrated. That was the other thing that I discovered with the Huel pot. It has the same issue as the regular Huel, which is it will sometimes end up with little dry lumps. Particularly with the Huel pot where you've got sharp corners in the bottom. You need to really make sure when you're stirring it, you get your spoon right into the corners. Or else, as I got yesterday, just a bit of dry powder on the bottom, which then makes it more difficult to actually clean. Yeah, it actually smells remarkably like sun-dried tomato. So 5 minutes has gone by. I'd say this one looks a little bit more soupy. No beans in this one, more of that puffed rice. It's nice. It's a lot more natural tasting than I expected. I was expecting real cup of soup type flavour. It's a really nice tomato and herb flavour. I'd say because there's less texture bits in it, you get a little bit more of that slightly gritty, floury Huel texture. But it's nice. It's really nice. I quite like the spicy yesterday. I miss a bit of the spice. Yeah, so far, Mexican chili is my favourite. But that's not to say that this is bad. So, day 3, third flavour of Huel hot and savoury. This is sweet and sour. Yesterday's meal, I did find that I got a little bit hungry about 5 hours afterwards. I just needed a piece of toast. I'd had a really hectic afternoon and was burning a lot of energy. So I hadn't found that the day before, but yesterday obviously burning more energy. But I guess that's just like with anything. Sometimes you won't survive through till dinner. Sometimes you need a bit of a snack. So take that for what you will. Mexican chili, very obviously it's just a chili flavour. I'm still slightly unsure whether Mexican chili is appropriate because frankly, if you get those flavours wrong, you're offending an entire nation. Yeah, it was a nice chili flavour and tomato and herb, you can't really go wrong. It was a nice like tomato soup type flavour. Sweet and sour could be great, could be awful. Like, it'd be pretty easy to go either way. So let's see how we get on with this. But generally, actually, the hot and savoury, I've been really impressed with, and I will continue to use it. I don't know, I think if you're already using Huel, then it's a really good addition. If you're not using Huel and you don't like the idea of just starting your day with milkshakes, I guess this is probably a really good lunchtime option. I guess that's where it makes sense that they've done it, that it adds in an additional starting point, that you could have this as a lunchtime option, like I was saying, for taking to work or whatever it is, that's just going to be easier to buy in bulk than having loads of pot noodles or cup of soups in your cupboard. But yeah, I've been surprisingly impressed with it. Actually, I think that comes down to how disastrous my own experience with my own hot savoury Huel was, but they seem to have done it right. Emma has decided she just wants one scoop today. Definitely, I think you got, I might see if I can get a slightly more. Because of the way the bags, everything will settle, you will sometimes find that you get some mixes that are much more powder. I guess that's just a case of giving it a good shake and trying to get it right. But yeah, you can see from these two bowls, definitely got more powder in this one and more bits in that one.
No idea what this one tastes like. No expectation of the flavour combination.
And I'm hoping it's going to taste sweet and sour. But I don't really know whether they're talking like a Chinese sweet and sour or a Japanese sweet and sour or authentic Chinese sweet and sour or UK takeaway sweet and sour.
Well, there's pictures of pineapple on the front.
Yeah, there's pictures of pineapple and
chili.
peppers and chili and garlic. So I guess we'll see what the flavours are. So we've waited our 5 minutes and it's all mixed up. Again, similar looking consistency. More sweet corn in this one, it looks like. Yeah, definitely smells like British takeaway Chinese sweet and sour is probably the best way to describe it. It's the one that I've got least expectation of what the flavours are going to be. I think the flavour is probably best described as an amalgamation of generic, stereotypical Chinese takeaway flavours. Don't know it's that easy to distinguish it as either sweet or sour, or indeed both. It's not a bad taste. It's the sort of thing that if pot noodle put on theirs, they would just call it Chinese takeaway pot noodle. It's not a bad flavour. It's probably my least favourite of the three. It's still tasty enough that I'm gonna finish it, and I'll finish the bag. But I'm not sure I'd order this one again. I definitely would order the chili and the tomato and herb again. Not sure I'd order this one again. I think that about sums it up. If you've got any questions about Huel Hot and Savoury, please leave them in the comments section below. If you like the video and you'd like to see more, like it and subscribe. There is a series of other Huel videos. I think we're up to 5 now, so this will be the 6th. So have a look at the other reviews if you want more information about regular Huel, premix Huel, Huel, and Soylent as well. So those are all in there as well. So yeah, any questions, let me know. And otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.